and welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Portugal 2, Spain 2, 5-3 on penalties in the UEFA Nations League Final 2025. Portugal wins their second UEFA Nations League in the history of the tournament. Spain falls short in the final in their defense of the trophy. Either team was going to win their second, and Spain couldn't defend it. They lose in penalties. Honestly, the selection of players in penalties was a bad idea. The goals, pretty good. Spain was the better team throughout the 90 minutes or the 120 minutes, but in penalties, they lost. Portugal still fought back to make sure they could get their way to a penalty shootout. They did, at the very least. That's what you got to do if you're Portugal. Portugal, 2. Spain, 2. 5-3 en penales. Portugal ganar en la Liga de Nations de la UEFA final. Portugal ganar de la Liga de Nations de la UEFA. You know, big win for Portugal. Big win for Portugal on penalties. Goals were scored as follows. 21st minute, Martin Zubamendi scores. Ball's played into the box. It goes off the goalkeeper. Williams does not touch it. It's off a defender into the path of Zubamendi. He slots it home. 21st minute. 0-1. 0-1 esta noche. 5 minutes later actually. Nunes scores. Pedro Neto gets the ball passed to him by Cristiano Ronaldo, who is onside, confirmed to be onside. Pedro Neto crosses the ball in, or passes it to Nunes. It wasn't really a cross, it was a pass. Passes it to him. He takes a shot down low into the far post. A beautiful goal by Nunes, who had a really good game, I would say. 1-1, 1-1. Esta noche. 45th minute, Mikel Oyarzabal scores. Pedri plays it to Oyarzabal in the box. He takes a shot, slots it past Diogo Costa. 1-2, 1-2 esta noche. Halftime, 1-2, 1-2 miro tiempo. 61st minute, ball crossed into the box by Nunes. Deflected by Lenormand, high into the air. Falls to Cristiano Ronaldo, who bodies off Marc Cucurella to make sure he has a chance to take a shot. And he shoots it in from close range, 2-2, 2-2. Cristiano Ronaldo gets a goal to make it 2-2, 29 minutes to go, 2-2. And then at the end of the day, full time, it's 2-2, 2-2 esta noche. We go to extra time, and nothing happens. Halftime of extra time, 2-2, 2-2. Portugal did start to lose it defensively. It seemed like it was more of a fire drill throughout extra time. But in the end, they still won. After extra time, 2-2, 2-2. We go to penalties. And Portugal were very calm under pressure. Very, very calm under pressure. Gonçalo Ramos started off, slotted it home, 1-0, 1-0. Mikel Merino, Arsenal's favorite striker, bangs it home, sends Diogo Costa the wrong way, sends it the opposite way, 1-1, 1-1. Vitinha, a Champions League winner, gives Portugal a penalty scored to possibly be also a Champions or a Nations League winner, same stadium a week later. Vitinha slots his penalty home, 2-1, 2-1. Alex Baena scores his to make it 2-2, 2-2. Bruno Fernandes fools Unai Simon, sends it to low and in to the side of the net, 3-2, 3-2. Isco slots his penalty home. Beautiful penalty by Isco. Really good season. Puts a cherry on top of it, even though he didn't win a trophy, just like he didn't win the Conference League. But either way, 3-3, 3-3. Nunes bangs his penalty home, 4-3, 4-3. Alvaro Morata gets sent up to take the penalty. What were you doing, De La Fuente? Did you really think that was a good idea? Alvaro Morata gets saved by Diogo Costa, puts it right into the hands of Diogo Costa. Horrible penalty taken by Alvaro Morata, 4-3, 4-3. Spain, if they allow a goal, it's over. Portugal's on the catbird seat. Guess what Ruben Neves does? Steps up and slots it home, bangs it home, wins the Nations League for Portugal, 5-3, 4-3. After penalties, 2-2, 5-3 on penalties. 2-2 esta noche, 5-3 en penales. Portugal, campeones. Portugal are champions. And honestly, they survived. Honestly, Portugal survived. That's about it. Like, Portugal punched back when they needed to. But really, they survived. I would not say anything more than they survived the match and won on penalties. Because let's be real. Portugal were the team who was not the better team. Spain were the better team in actual football. With the possession, with the shots on goal, passes, pass accuracy, more fouls, but Portugal won far off. Less offside, more yellow cards. That's probably the one place you were bad at it. And the penalties, of course. But Portugal survived. Now, of course, respect, Portugal survived. Till penalties and won penalties. Good. But again, you gotta realize that maybe gotta do, well, you did enough, but could have done more. But either way, full-time stats are as follows. 7 shots to 16, 2 shots on goal to 6, 39% possession to 61% possession, 509 passes to 812, 87% pass accuracy to 93, 14 fouls to 19, 4 offside to 3, 3 yellow cards to 4, 0 red cards to 0, 3 corners to 4. Man of the match, Nuno Mendes. He's the man of the match because if he didn't perform like he did, I don't know if Portugal, he got a goal and an assist. He set up the cross that got blocked up into the air for Cristiano to score it. That's an assist to me. And scored a penalty. Yeah, man of the match. If he didn't have the performance he did, Portugal loses. Let's be real. The performance that Nuno Mendes had is the reason why Portugal won. In the end, I would say. They did their job. He did his job. Portugal survived. Spain, well, you asked for more, but they didn't have more. You know? Spain could have been way better. Way better. And they weren't. On the score sheet, of course. That's the one thing they weren't truly ahead of the curve on. Passing, much more passes, much more possession, much more shots. Spain are the more quality team, but they couldn't put it away. Portugal, for a while, looked like they were defending like a fire drill. And it was good enough. And they won on penalties. And it was one moment of, why the hell would you send Morata up there? That's what lost this game. Now, of course, if you scored a third goal, but Portugal was defending like a fire drill, you should have got a third. With all the shots, possession, pass accuracy, you should have got a third. The fact you didn't is ugly. Okay, that's first of all. Second, you send Morata up there? What? You send Morata up there to take a penalty. That's delusional. Like, you couldn't send anybody else? And then somebody else, if you did get to 5? Morata. Like, I said point blank, when I saw him walk up, I was like, this is going to be a bad penalty. Sometimes you score off a bad penalty, but the keeper went the right way. What'd you think was going to happen, De La Fuente? This one's on De La Fuente. Or whoever decided the 5 penalty takers. If he decided it, it's on him. Yeah, Morata missed, but who thought that was a good idea? Like, you got to be an idiot. You got to be an idiot to be like, yeah, I'm going to send up Morata on the most pressure penalty of the 5. At least right now. The fourth penalty, when it's 3-3 or 4-3, and your team could put the other team on the frickin' catbird seat, is the most pressure penalty. And then if you do tie it up and they score a fifth, then the fifth penalty is the most pressure penalty. The fifth is only the most pressure penalty when it's tied at number 5. But when it's 4-3, you gotta score. And then the keeper feels the pressure if you don't, because he's gotta save it. And he did not save it. Honestly, if we really want to make the argument, the fourth penalty, especially in a tie penalty shootout, is of the second team going up, is the most pressure penalty. The fifth only becomes the most pressure if you score it. Either way, then the fifth penalty is the most pressure, because if they score, you have to score to go to sudden death. If they miss, you score, you win. And that's pressure all its own. But Morata, thinking he's the guy to do it under pressure? Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? Luckily for you, De La Fuente and Morata, you're not clown of the week, because guess who is? Luciano Spalletti. Get out! Yeah, he got sacked after Monday. He still has to coach the game tomorrow. Why would you do that? Either way, he better win. He better win. Either way, he better win. Get out! Clown of the week. So at least you're not clown of the week, because he's worse. Either of you. But Spain, get out! Because Portugal won on penalties. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share this with your friends and family. I will see you on Tuesday for Canada versus Ivory Coast. Live and review. We'll have a Monday off. Enjoy your Monday. Have an amazing start to your next week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I will see you on Tuesday. Congratulations, Portugal. Felicidades, Portugal. Commiserations, Spain. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you.